Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasa Gaura Bhakta
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Bhaktavinda
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare 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 Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama
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 Rama,
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama Rama,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama
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 Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Jai Mohan Radha, Madan Mohan Shri Radhe.
Jai Radha Madhava Madan Mohan Sri Radha
Jaya Sita Jaya Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Sita Ram Jaya Lakshman
Jaya
Hanuman
Sita Ram Jaya Lakshmana Sita Ram Jaya Lakshmana
Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra
Jaya Jagannath Baladeva Jaya Subha
Jayo Nitai Satri Sutta Jayo Nitai Satri Sutta Jayo Nitai Satri Sutta Jayo Nitai Satri Sutta
Jaya Jaya Sati Sutta
Nitai
Jaya
Satchi Sutta
Jaya Sati Sutta
Jaya Nitai Sutta
Jayo Nitai Satri Rai Jayo Nitai Satri Rai Jayo Nitai Satri Rai Jayo Nitai Satri Rai
Jaya Nitai Satchi Rai
Jayo
Jaya
Nitai
Nitai
Gauri Jayo Nitai Gauri Jayo
Nitai Satchi
Jai Jai Prabhupada,
Prabhupada
Prabhupada,
Prabhupada
Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya
Jaya
Prabhupada
Prabhupada Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada
Jaya Jaya Gurudev,
Guru
Gurudev,
Gurudev
Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Gurudev
Hari Hari Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hari Hari Bol. Okay, thank you everyone. We'll start, Prabhu. I'll start with the Mangalacharan. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanatha Samiti Namine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurang Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Sahapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jutapada Kamalam Shri Gurunna Vaishnavanshan Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Anvitam Tam Sajivam Sadhuitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakhan Nitansham He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpataruvriksha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much for joining this session today. First of all, I would like to thank His Grace Bhai Hari Prabhu and His Grace Indulekha Mataji, not just for us, but giving such a wonderful opportunity for us to come together, discuss our different Shastric injunctions and the Shastric narrations, Krishna's pastime, and most importantly, giving us the opportunity to come together as devotees, so devotee Sangha, which is the most important thing. So thank you so much, Prabhu and Mataji, for guiding us, mentoring us, and kind of facilitating for this family to come together, grow, and progressively together continuing their journey, spiritual journey. In terms of talk, again, I'm not at all qualified to say anything, but because of whatever our Guru Maharaj's mercy, Srila Prabhupada's mercy, and all the senior devotees, senior Vaishnavas, their blessings. Whatever I have heard and read, I'm going to just repeat that. So please forgive me if there is any mistake or any shortcomings. Especially the topic that I have chosen today is very deep, and the personality about whom we are going to discuss today is very dear to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Again, in the series of our discussions for the forthcoming Gaur Leela or Gaura Purnami, which is coming on 3rd of March, I'll continue with similar topic what Kishori Radha Mataji has covered last week. So Mahaprabhu spent 18 years in Jagannath Puri, So initial 6 years after that, he traveled different places in India. And out of that, his travel to South India was very, very prominent. And there was about 2 years that he was traveling across the South India. So we'll cover some part of it. And most part of the discussion would be around a conversation, a sambad between Raya Ramananda and Mahaprabhu, which happened in a place called, in today's name, is Kovur, which is very close to Rajamundry, near Godavari River. So I'll share my screen. I prepared some presentations, few slides. Let me know if you are able to see my screen.
Yes, Prabhuji, we can see your screen, but yeah, now it's in the slideshow mode. So perfect.
Thank you. So the title, we have kept it as the ultimate goal of life. And before we deep dive into the topic, just thought to have come together and put our attention on something, a very honest self-check. We all are grihasthas. We have many responsibilities, along with taking care of family, job, children, and so many things. Whatever we can do, we are trying to do certain, whatever in our capacity, to do certain things towards our original nature of the soul. Right? So the question for all of you today is, imagine it's a very busy day, and at the end of the long day, you are sitting together, just to reflect on what has gone throughout the day. What gives you the most satisfaction throughout the day, whatever work you have done? So imagine a busy day and think of what gives you the most satisfaction in that particular day's activities. Maybe you can think that in the chat, or if you feel comfortable, you can unmute and talk also.
Prabhu, for me, I think acting with integrity. If I feel like if my day has gone where I've not deviated from my core values, or the circumstances have not been such that I've had to deviate, then I feel satisfied that I stuck true to my values.
Okay. Yeah. To maintain the core values that each of us have. Thank you, Manji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
So
Krishna.
I was thinking that if I've had a very good interaction with somebody, like a deep, meaningful interaction or connection with somebody, particularly a devotee, that gives me satisfaction.
That's great. Yeah. We feel valuable, and then we feel that we did something which helped others or had some meaningful conversation at the end of the day. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Not every day, but some of the days when we end our day with some sort of reading. Like these days, I think all of us together are reading Leelamrita along with the kids. So I sometimes feel that night goes very well. I mean, you are very stress-free. Whatever has happened during the day, it usually up and down. But if for those particular days when we are reading, In the morning, I get up very satisfied.
Great, Prabhu. You are able to read every day. That's great.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, that was Prabhu. Yes, Hare Krishna. Yeah, I guess my was also kind of almost similar. I guess a reading, but I think more than that, I guess I get more happy. I guess if I can do something for someone during that day and just make them feel, I don't know, the smile on their face. It just feels good about it. If I can do something, it could be anywhere. It could be a work day, in somewhere at the work or colleague or something. If I can do something for others, good, right? So that makes me something, achieved for the day. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, anyone else? I mean, there is no right and wrong answer here. We're just trying to reflect how our day goes. And when we talk about goal, which is today's chapter, how it is related, this question related. So this is a quote I have taken from one of the lecture. So it's not my own, by the way. So this is the quote written behind it. The satisfaction reveals our goal more honestly than any philosophy. So whatever our goal in life, part of that, if we achieved on that particular day, that gives probably the most satisfaction, be it our value, be it helping someone, be something on our own. It's a very hard day. At the end of the day, we achieved something, be it from the project or be it something else, right? So the point here is, from a spiritual point of view, when we look at it, so like, Prabhupada in almost in all of his lectures and many purport everywhere he has written, right? The first purpose of human life is to Atato Brahma Jigyasa, which is the first mantra of Vedanta Sutra. So human being, when we get the human being, our first purpose of life is to understand who am I and from where I come from, what is my identity, right? And I often discuss one of my senior God brother, when we discuss about goal of life, it's okay, well, goal of life cannot be one, it is multiple, right? Today's my goal of life is different. When I was a child, it was different. When I will get old, it will be different, right? But that's again on a platform of materialistic platform. But when we talk about considering this life is a part of the whole journey that the soul has traveled with many, many millions of years, from that perspective, we see the goal that we may set is short-term, right? And even with that small span of time of this particular life, when we set a goal, the goal will be short-term and there will be a goal long-term also. And the short-term has to align with the long-term goal. Like if someone want to be a very rich man or want to be in professionally also, let's say someone want to be a doctor. So the small goals the person will set year on year is again keeping in mind the ultimate goal that he has set to be a doctor. He or she has to be a doctor. So similarly, in our life, when we set a goal, there will be a short term and there is a long term. Long term goes beyond this particular life. That what we can carry forward from this life to next life. Obviously, I at least myself don't consider that, we progress so much that we cannot think about next life. This should be the last life. So at least we'll think about the next life, what we should do so that the next life continues positively from where we are living in this life. So from that perspective, this discussion or the samvad between Ramanand Rai and Mahaprabhu was very, very significant. So I'll continue with the discussion. So as
So, Sachijivan Prabhuji, I think two more devotees had their hands raised if you want to hear their
Yes,
realization
please.
also.
Yes, please.
Yeah. I think it was Amrita Lila Mataji and Shri Padma Manjari.
Yeah, I go ahead, Mataji,
No,
please.
no, please you go ahead. I'll come back. Yeah,
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji,
Yes.
I was just saying that if some days I reflect upon, I really feel the days I am able to do my chanting properly gives me the most satisfaction. I'm able to sleep better that day without feeling guilty or bad about not doing disservice there.
Wonderful, Mataji. So wonderful. Yeah, Amrita, you want to say?
yeah. My point is similar to Sri Padma Manjari Mataji. Like if the days start with chanting and happy chanting, early chanting, that gives most satisfaction. And with that, based on the center, everything goes, well. Having said that, before just sleeping on the bed, when I do, gratitude or maybe thanking everyone in my life or contributed in my life, maybe in a positive or negative way. Sometimes, my ego says, if someone hurt me, then why to, thank? But, in hurting also, there is some learning. So if I can thank whoever hurting me or whoever troubling me, that gives me most satisfaction. And sometimes it relieves the burden in the mind and give more happiness and satisfaction.
Thank you.
That's
And thank you, Panmanjari Mataji. Yes. Absolutely. I mean, these are some of the kind of the tracking maps which we understand how our day went. And again, if we align that with what goal we have set, either short term or long term, if it is aligned to that, we feel more happy, more satisfactory. Right? So this could be one of the measuring guideline for us that whatever goal we are setting, every day, whatever activities we are doing, how it is aligned to that short-term goal and how it is aligned to the long-term goal, in terms of spirituality or in terms of material life. It's very, very important, right? If it goes well, we feel satisfactory, we feel happy. If it doesn't go well, then we say, hey, how we can improve it going forward or next day. Thank you so much, everyone, for your contribution here.
Did Pyali Mataji had a comment? Sorry, Sachivan Prabhu, I saw her hand raised. So did
Oh,
she have a
yeah, sure,
comment?
sure. Sorry. Thank you so much, Prabhupada.
Yeah, I was
I'm not
going to
able to see.
say
Yes,
I was
please.
going to say about satisfaction when you were talking about satisfaction and achieving little goals. Actually, there is not like one thing that at the end of the day gives me satisfaction. It's like, micro satisfactory things, right? So there are obviously lots of things that may not be satisfactory and many things that are satisfactory. So an aggregate of these micro satisfactions is what makes me feel happy towards the end of the day. Okay, there were some things that really went very well, very satisfactory, very happily, and that gives me satisfaction, and that equals to happy sleep. And because I always get reminded of that line by Leonardo da Vinci, I think it is like, a day well spent brings happy sleep, a life well lived. Yeah, but a day well spent brings happy sleep. So it's a whole bunch of micro satisfactions, is what I wanted to say.
Absolutely, Mataji. Small, small happiness, small, small satisfaction put together gives us that ultimate day's fruitful things, right? So thank you so much. Sorry, I'm not able to see any hand raise or anything. Prabhu, anyone else?
No, please proceed, Prabhu. I'll interrupt in case I see anybody. You can focus on the presentation, Prabhu.
Okay, so thank you, Prabhu. Somehow, I don't know, I'm not able to see the hand raised.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, so continuing with Mahaprabhu's journey. So Mahaprabhu started from Jagannath Puri, and Mahaprabhu's intention was how to preach Krishna consciousness and Krishna's prema to the whole world. That was his intention but his very close associates like Swarup Damodar Prabhu and other devotees there, Nityananda Prabhu and Gadadhar Prabhu, they were not letting Mahaprabhu to go anywhere. Right? They want to have his divine association all the time. So Mahaprabhu come up with an excuse that his brother Vishwamba was had gone on a pilgrimage and he wanted to find him. So that's how somehow he convinced his associates and wanted to go South India because his brother Vishwamba had gone in that direction. So with that excuse, he could convince them that to go for to look for him. And finally, after a lot of persuasion, all the associates, the devotees agreed. But then Nityananda Prabhu wanted Mahaprabhu to take one Brahmana with him, just as as kind of a supporting person. And Mahaprabhu was not agreeing to it. Finally, he agreed when Nityananda Prabhu mentioned that Mahaprabhu, you would be busy always in chanting. Who's going to take care of your personal belongings? So somehow he agreed. Now, Mahaprabhu started from Puri and through Alalnath, which is very close to Puri. He's throughout the villages, wherever he passed through. There was a very famous song. Probably we can chant together. Mahaprabhu was reciting it ecstatically, dancing and singing this particular Mahamantra or particular song, right? Wherever he used to go. Krishna, 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 hey. Krishna, 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 hey. Krishna, 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 Rakshamam. Krishna, 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 Pahimam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshamam. Krishna Kesava, Krishna Kesava, Krishna Kesava, Pahimam. So Mahaprabhu was singing this particular song wherever he was going, and the villages where he was passing through, everyone seeing Mahaprabhu is dancing so ecstatically and so nicely. Everyone kind of followed him, and whoever get association of Mahaprabhu, they also started chanting Krishna's name. And that's how wherever Mahaprabhu went, the whole areas become Krishna conscious. So like that, he reached a place called Kurmakshetra, which is in Andhra Pradesh. And there he led a very nice pastime. There is a Kurma Bhagavan's temple there. And Mahaprabhu stayed there for some time and he did his kirtan and his specific leelas there. And there was a Brahmin there called Kurma. So it is kurma@kurma.karma. Kurma. So Kurma Kshetra, Kurma Bhagavan, and there is a Brahmana called Kurma who wanted Mahaprabhu to stay at his home. And then when Mahaprabhu arrived there, he washed his feet and his whole family kind of drank that Padicharana, Charanamrita, and everyone was very, very happy. And then the Brahmin wanted to go with Mahaprabhu in his journey, so he wanted to take sannyasa and go. And then Mahaprabhu gave a very nice suggestion and order to him. So understanding that the Brahmana was not yet ready for sannyas, and he's a grihastha with a family. So like we all of us are grihasthas, and Prabhupada also quoted the same thing, that when we have some responsibilities, taking care of that responsibilities in a Krishna conscious way is also a service to Krishna, right? So if you have a family, then children, and then upbringing the children in Krishna consciousness is a is also a service to the Krishna, because we are creating we are bringing more souls closer to the Supreme Lord, to Krishna. So Krishna becomes very happy. So similarly here, Mahaprabhu didn't agree that Kurma Brahmin, he leave everything, his family, and come with him. So finally he said that you follow your devotional service from here itself. There is Kurma Bhagavan, you can always do service to him, and you have family, bring them in a Krishna consciousness way, and then you have Bhagavatam, read Bhagavatam every day. And if you can do all these things, I am promising you, I will be with you all the time. So similarly, Krishna kind of promised us that if we think about him, if we pray to him, if we chant his name, specifically in this age of Kali, so that if we chant his name continuously, he's always there with us. He's there in our heart as Paramatma. He's there in other devotees surrounding us. So when we are in this environment, it's none less than Vaikuntha or Golok Vrindavan, right? Where they are also will be surrounded with devotees. Here also we are surrounded with devotees. So this particular place, wherever we are there, if we are following what Krishna has asked us to follow through different scriptures, that Krishna is there with us all the time. So there is another pastime happened there. There was a Brahmin called Vasudeva, and Vasudeva was suffering from a very difficult disease, leprosy. So his whole body was with different kind of what do we say, the ulcers kind of thing, caused, and it was so septic that there was insects running on it. But Vasudeva was such devoted to Krishna, he thought these insects which are on my body, they are living because of my flesh, my blood, and they have also Krishna in their heart. So they are also a form of Krishna. So in that case, if one of the insects fall down, he used to carefully pick that insect and put it back on his body so that it doesn't die. So he was so humble. And when he heard about Mahaprabhu is in that area, he came running to see Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu left Kurumakshatra by that time. So hearing this, Vasudeva kind of felt unconscious, So he thought that from such a long distance I came to see Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu has already left. So understanding his mood, Mahaprabhu immediately appeared there. And he embraced him and saying, Vasudeva, I have never seen such a devotee like you, who is seeing me in the insect also. Okay, I am fortunate to meet you. And then Mahaprabhu embraced him, and all the leprosy marks gone away. All his distress, all his pain immediately gone away. And looking at this, Vasudeva, when Mahaprabhu wanted to embrace him, Vasudeva said, I'm an untouchable person. Even the sinful people run away from me looking at my body, such pity condition. And you embraced me. I'm so fortunate. And I may get proud that Mahaprabhu has embraced me. So please advise me what I need to do so that that pride doesn't come to me. So Mahaprabhu told him that you constantly chant Krishna's name and preach the devotion of Krishna to others. So when you chant Krishna's name continuously, all this ego, all this pride, false pride will automatically go away. And that's a lesson for us also, right? So, I mean, whatever effort that we are putting in terms of chanting, in terms of reading scriptures, we're still not at that stage. And sometimes pride do come. And Mahaprabhu has given a solution here that if we take this humble position of a servant to the devotees and then chant Krishna's name in terms of japa, doing our rounds nicely and preaching, that humbleness will automatically come. So Mahaprabhu has given that mantra here, what to do to remove pride from our heart. So we'll continue our discussion. So after Kurmakshetra, Mahaprabhu entered into this Koburu village, which is in the bank of river Godavari. And there Mahaprabhu take bath in river Godavari, and he sat down and started his japa. And that time, this big personality with all his armies and a lot of Brahmins, he arrived in that bank of Godavari to take bath. And looking at this, Mahaprabhu immediately understand he is none other than Ramananda Rai. Because when he started from Jagannath Puri, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who is another close associate of Mahaprabhu, he told him that if you are going to South, please meet with Ramananda Rai. He is a great devotee and he would be very pleased to meet you. So Mahaprabhu knew that Ramananda Rai, is residing near to that village of Koburu. And talking a little bit about Ramananda Rai, he was the governor of Vidyanagar. And Vidyanagar was part of the Kalinga kingdom that time under King Prataparudradev. And we all know about King Prataparudradev, who became a great devotee of Mahaprabhu in his later life. But he was a very, very powerful king. So it is said that till the time he was alive, the Mughals were not able to enter into Odisha, right? They were kind of positioned in Bengal, and we know this Qazi Nawab Hussain Shah, who was ruling from Bengal. They attacked Odisha so many times, and King Prataparudradev was so powerful, he defeated them every time. So Vidyanagar and Prataparudra's kingdom was not just towards Bengal, he had expanded it towards south also, and Vidyanagar was part of it. And Ramananda Rai was taking care of that place on behalf of King Prataparudradev as a governor of that province. So he was a big man as per on those days. Being a governor was a big thing. So he had all the opulence, he has all the power, but he was so humble that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, knowing Mahaprabhu, that Mahaprabhu is so, is none other than Krishna, he recommended to meet with Ramananda Rai. So Mahaprabhu, when he saw Ramananda Rai there, and Ramananda Rai also recognized Mahaprabhu because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya informed him also that Mahaprabhu is coming and you meet him. So Ramananda Rai took birth in Odisha, near to Alarnath. There is a place called Bentapur, very close to Alarnath. And he was a very big devotee of Lord Jagannath. But he, at the same time, was very sharp and very knowledgeable. And that's the reason why Pratap Dev has kind of put him as the governor of that place, because he was very, very expert in administration. Okay, and if we get a chance to go to Jagannath Puri, there this village is around 10 to 11 kilometers from Jagannath Puri, and some of you might have seen it. If you go there, his house is still there, Ramananda Rai's house, and there are people, his ancestors, his ancestors are still living there. And there is a small temple in his house made for him. And the Bhagavatam he used to read every day for Mahaprabhu is still there. And the sword that he used to keep when he was the governor, that is also there. So a couple of his belongings are still there. If you get a chance to go next time, you can probably see that. So Mahaprabhu, when he see Ramananda Rai immediately gives Sashtang Pranipad and say that I am a Shudra, because first of all, his birth was in the Shudra family, and then what he was doing is a kind of a Kshatriya. So touching a sannyasi on those days, especially sannyasis has to maintain a specific purity. So it was not allowed for others, especially the Sudras, to touch a sannyasi. So when Mahaprabhu wanted to embrace him, Ramananda Rai said, I am a Sudra, I am insignificant. And so I'm not, no, I'm insignificant to be touched by you or embraced by you. And Mahaprabhu immediately said, whom Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has recommended, that person cannot be ordinary. So I want to hear from you. I heard a lot about you from Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and I want to talk to you and I want to hear from you, Krishna Katha. And then Ramananda Rai saying, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead yourself. What knowledge I have that I will tell you about Krishna Katha. So here our Acharya says that normally in our Shastras there are many conversations happen. Parikshit Maharaj, Sukadeva Goswami, Krishna, Arjuna, and Vidura, and Rishi. So there are so many conversations happening, throughout our scriptures. And Kapila, and then his mother, and then Kunti Devi, and there are so many prayers, and all those things are there. But most of them are called Shiksha. Whereas here, this conversation it is called Sambhada. Because most of the time, in the Shastras, it's a higher authority giving the knowledge, and the person who is receiving is kind of a disciplic position. So in the position of Guru or Krishna himself is giving a knowledge or message, and who is receiving either is a disciple or a devotee. Whereas here we see just the opposite. A devotee is giving knowledge to the Supreme Lord. Imagine how fortunate Ramananda Rai is. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami here narrated this, that comparing Mahaprabhu as the ocean and Ramananda Rai a small cloud out of that. Like the cloud collects the vapor or the evaporated water from the same ocean. And when it is ready to rain, it rain it back to the ocean. So similarly here, Ramananda Rai is none other than Vishakha Sakhi, and which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we all know, he is none other than Radha and Krishna together. So when Radha and Krishna coming together and there is Vishakha Sakhi in front of him, what will happen? What is supposed to happen, the same thing happened here, that Vishakha Sakhi understood what Radharani want, and Radharani understood what Krishna want. So the reciprocation between Vishakha Sakhi, Radharani, and Krishna, that is getting repeated here, or so you can see here the Ramananda Rai is understanding that Mahaprabhu want his devotee to be exemplified, right? So he understood the mood, but still he says that I am kind of afraid of the bina that you have. You are the bina, I am a thread of it. But still, I would like to follow your instruction, and whatever I know, I will narrate in front of you. And that's how the conversation starts. And looking at this, Mahaprabhu embracing Ramananda Rai, all the Brahmanas who came with him to take bath, they say, hey, a sannyasi is embracing a Shudra. So they kind of got bewildered. What's happening here? And looking at that, Mahaprabhu immediately understood what's going on. So he said, Ramananda, now let's go and we'll meet in the evening. And in the evening, after Ramananda Rai finished his daily work, he came to see Mahaprabhu, and that's how the conversation starts. And when they met in the evening, Mahaprabhu asked him, describe something about the ultimate goal of life. And that's our topic of discussion today. So Mahaprabhu is saying, right, Ramananda, I heard a lot about you. Can you describe the ultimate goal of life? Prabhu kahe, padha sloka, sadhyara nirnaya, raya kahe, swadharma charane, acharane, Vishnu bhakti haya. So as you can understand, Mahaprabhu is asking Ramananda Rai, read a sloka. Padha is read, sloka, a verse, sadhyara nirnaya, ultimate goal of life. Nirnaya means ultimate, sadhyara means goal. Raya kahe, it's in Bengali, as you can understand. Raya kahe, swadharma acharane Vishnu bhakti haya. So this is, you can see a parallel here. When Arjuna is getting bewildered, Krishna starts from karma yoga, starting from karma. What is karma? And there also he started with swadharma. And of course, in chapter 3, he started talking about paradharma also. But he started with swadharma. Swadharma is nothing but varnashrama dharma. So based on and Krishna says that in, I think chapter 4, if I'm not wrong, Guna Karma Vibhagasa, Chaturvarna Maya system, Guna Karma Vibhagasa. So this Varna and Ashrama, 4 Varnas, which is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, and the 4 Ashramas, that is Brahmacharya, Grihastha, then Vanaprastha and Sannyasa. The combination of that decides at what position a particular individual is, whether he is a brahmachari, performing the action of a brahmana, or brahmachari doing a kind of a Kshatriya or Vaishya or whatever it is, right? Because imagine in those days, every child used to go to a Gurukul to take knowledge from the Guru. And that time they were all brahmachari, irrespective of their Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra. Right? And we have seen that, in many instances, right? Like where so coming back to Varnashrama Dharma, so Ramananda Rai says, if someone is performing their Varnashrama Dharma perfectly as per their Swadharma, that's the ultimate goal of life. And he quoted something from Vishnu Purana. So Ramananda Rai quoted from Vishnu Purana 3.8.9, Varnashara Bata Purusena Parahapmam Vishnun Aradhyate Pantha Nanyat Tat Toshakaranam. And when he explained about this, quoting from Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, Mahaprabhu heard about it and then says, Eho Bahya Age Kaho. Again in Bengali, Eho means this is, Bahya means it is external. It's still not the, so when you say external means it's still material or at a material platform or a mixed with material platform. So ultimate goal cannot be material. It has to be something higher. So he asked Ramananda Rai to go and talk more about it. So then, again, you will see a parallel here, what Krishna is telling to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, right? So Krishna starts with, right, in chapter 2, right? In chapter 2, he talked about the karma, right? Karmanne vadikarustu ma phaleshu tadachana. And then in chapter 9, he starts with Yat karosi yat yatnasi yat jihosi dadati yat tapasyasi konteya tat kurusva madarpanam. Whatever you are doing, whatever you are eating, and whatever you are sacrificing, whatever you are giving in a charity, whatever austerity you are doing, do it all for me. Mad arpanam, offer it to me. Right? So Ramananda Rai here is telling the next level of devotion. So first one is purely at a karma level, right? Karma yoga. And now come karma arpana. So you do the karma and then offer it to Krishna. Mahaprabhu still says it's still external because you are doing a karma at a platform of material platform. Right? So he wanted to hear more because he knows that Rai Ramanand was a very exalted personality. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya already told him that he is a Mahabhagavat. And being Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mahaprabhu already know that. He wanted to glorify Ramananda Rai. It's not that Mahaprabhu don't know. He is the source of everything. Now he wanted to glorify Ramananda Rai. That's why he wanted to hear from him more and more deeper. So then Ramananda Rai go to the next level. So till now he was in a Karma Yoga level. Now he moves to Jnana Yoga level. Now he presents devotion mixed with knowledge, and he narrated the verse 18.54. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Na Sochati Na Kanshati Samah Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktin Labhate Param. So he started talking that, in everything you start looking the Paramatma. who transcendently situated, at this stage, he sees everyone an equal. He sees Brahman in everything. And at that stage, something happiness at a platform level or a distress doesn't matter to him. So as per Ramananda Rai, which is the next stage, he said, this can be goal of the life. Mahaprabhu says, again, you are talking about material distress, material happiness. So still it is at a material platform. This cannot be the ultimate goal. Move forward. Then Ramananda Rai moved to the next level. Surrender to the Supreme Lord, which Krishna says in 18.66 to Arjuna, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamikam Saranam Praja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mukhyayishyami Ma Sucha. Now, he goes further saying, this is the starting that you surrender to Krishna. But that intense prema, which is described as Laulya, intense greed for Krishna prema, unless someone leave that label, surrender is not enough. And he has given an example that how someone will proceed in that way. Ramananda Rai is giving an example. If there is a hungry person and thirsty person, different kind of food and different kind of drinks, when he find, he feel happy. Similarly, someone who is hankering for Krishna prema, there are different ways or different activities where he can engage in his devotional service with Krishna. And that gives him the happiness. And Mahaprabhu being Mahaprabhu, he wanted to glorify Ramananda Rai further. He says, well, now you are going in the right direction, but this is just the doorway. Surrender is just the doorway. It's not the destination. Can you tell more? Then Ramananda Rai moves further to the Prema Bhakti level. And as we all know, there are 5 different levels of, doing service to the Supreme Lord and expressing the love for Krishna. And Shantarasa, Dasyarasa, Sakshya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. So different levels, and we all know that each of them has its own level. So Balaram is kind of, in a Santarasa, he's always serving Krishna. Dasya, again, Lord Hanuman. Hanuman is one exemplary. Saksha, the Gopabalas, the Gopas who played with Krishna, Madhumangal, and then Sudama and Shoman. How many will get this fortune to play with Krishna? Eat with him, play with him, dance with him. Now, what we see in Bhagavatam, that all the exalted rishis and even demigods, they wanted to have this association and witness this childhood pastime of Lord Krishna. And they all appeared as Gopas and Gopis, right? Just to experience that love of Krishna in different ways. Some of them in Shanta, some of them in Dasya, some of them in Saksha and Vatsalya and Madhurya. So, Krishnananda Prabhu from Juhu Temple, he was giving an example which Prabhupada probably quoted at some point of time. In the Amsterdam temple, there was a brahmachari whose name was Madhumanga. And Prabhuji used to say that, after he offered to the Lord, he used to keep some laddus aside. And when other devotees says, Prabhu, this is not good, you are stealing. He said, no, my name is Madhumangala, and you know Madhumangala. he loves laddus. So, I mean, that's also is another way of experiencing that love, right? We know Kirchura Gopinath is stealing the kheer for Madhavacharya, right? Madhavendra Puri. So, if Lord can do that, and he's doing it not just to glorify, but also to enjoy that pastime, enjoy that love with his devotees. The same thing here, Madhumangala is not that, he's doing that as a material platform. He want to give that happiness, that joy to Krishna. And if we look at the Krishna pastime, Madhumangala was little, floppy. And then when one of the pastime, when they all were stealing butter, and all the gopis, they get him red-handed, and everyone ran away through the window. But Madhumangal, being little bulky, he got stuck there. And when he got stuck there, the gopis can catch hold of him, saying, "Hey, others run away, at least we get one thief." So, and Madhubangal has a big sikha. So they catch hold of him, cut hold of him, his sikha, and tied him to a tree. And then Madhubangal started crying and shouting, help me, Krishna." And Krishna, being Krishna, immediately appeared there and saying, "How dare you bind my friends here? Release him immediately, otherwise it will not be good." And Gopi is enjoying this pastime, and they leave Madhumangala, and then it was a nice pastime there that narrated. So similarly, Vatsalya, we can see, Supreme Personality of Godhead. We see in Damodara Lila, Supreme Personality of Godhead is terrifying. Seeing the mother's stick, that mother will beat me. Now imagine the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who do not, forget about do not. If he want, just wish, the whole world will be annihilated. And just by his inhalation and exhalation, the whole world get created, material world get created or annihilated. Now that personality of Godhead is scared of a human being. It's not human, it's a jiva, but it's a very exalted jiva. To get to that level, we all know Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai, they did austerity for millions of years just to get Krishna as their son. So they are not ordinary persons. Similarly, we see about Vasudeva and Devaki. Even though they didn't see the childhood of Krishna, but still they are being glorified as the parents of the father and mother of Krishna. So these are not ordinary people. They're very, very exalted Mahabhagavatas. And in this Prema Bhakti ladder, Madhurya Lila, which is the relationship between the gopis and Krishna, that is the highest mode of Prema Bhakti. So this is all Ramananda Rai is explaining, telling to Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu very gladly hearing it. Right? Now, after hearing this, Mahaprabhu says, "This is good. Now, can you tell more?" Now we are talking about Madhurya Rasa, and Mahaprabhu wanted to hear more. So then Mahaprabhu, Ramananda Rai is describing the gopis' love for Krishna. In the middle of the night, when Krishna is playing his flute, the gopis leave everything. Their husband, their family, their children. Even it is described in Bhagavatam, as we will probably hear very soon there. We are in 9th canto. When we go to 10th canto, we'll hear about it. that some of the gopis, they were breastfeeding their children and they leave their children and run towards Krishna. Some of them were, trying to please their husband, and they hear this, they immediately leave their house and run towards Krishna. This is the love of gopis for Krishna. For them, nothing else matters. Their love to Krishna was the highest expression of the divine love, the relationship with the Supreme Lord. And if we look at the relationship, whatever the gopis were doing, if we look it from gopis' point of view, they're living everything, and in the middle of the night, that's up to that time, right? Leaving everything and going to the forest to meet another person. No, they didn't think that when we come back, what will happen to us? Whether a family will accept us, don't accept, what will happen to my children, what will happen to my husband? They don't think anything about it. They just listen Krishna's flute and run towards him. So they didn't have a tinge of desire from themselves. Now, what it says, they wanted to please Krishna. If they had certain desire for themselves, they would have think, what will happen to me? Which is the mantra today. Hey, you want me to do something? What's there for me? Right? Now, look at the relationship of Krishna and the gopis, the Gopa maids. Now, we all know that story of Narad Muni discussing with Krishna that who are the most dear to you, right? And then Krishna says the gopis. Narad says, well, I always take your name. All the time I say Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. So a little pride came to him, and he said, well, all the time I take your name, how can the gopis be more dear to you? And we all know that story, right? Krishna says, okay, I have a big headache. And the solution to that is if someone gives their feet dust to smear on my head, my headache will reduce. Now, Narad Muni himself said, well, you are Supreme Personality Godhead. How can I give my dust, foot dust? Then he goes to many places, and everyone says that, do you want to do us a scene? That's up to Supreme Personality of Godhead. And when he reached the gopis, what they say? They came out and do Sashtang Pranipad to Narad Muni. And when they hear this, they say, well, wait a minute. They venture into Yamuna again because they wanted their feet to get wet so that more and more sand can come. And they collected all the sand and gave it to Narad Muni. He says, go and give it to Kana. Give it to our Krishna. And then when Narad Muni says, don't you scared of the sin? You want this, your dust, your foot dust to go and smear on Krishna's head? He says, it doesn't matter. We are ready to go to hell forever. Even if it reduces Krishna's headache, even for a fraction of a second, even a muhurta, fraction of a muhurta, that is more than enough for us. For that, if we have to go to hell forever, ready for that. Right? That's the mode of the gopis. That's the love. That's the reciprocation the gopis had with Krishna. Now, hearing this, from Ramananda Rai, Mahaprabhu says, well, you are going in the right direction, but there is more. Can you tell more? So then, Ramananda Rai says, amongst the gopis, the topmost gopi is Radharani. Radharani's love, there is no comparison with her. That's the pinnacle of love. Now, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur mentions that, right? That for us, Krishna is not important. More important is Radharani. Because Krishna may be all attractive, But Krishna get attracted by Radharani. Right? So seeing Radharani, Krishna get attracted. So who attract the all attractful personality is Radharani. And Radharani is also so merciful. We heard the story of the fox, right? All the village boys wanted to trouble the fox, and the fox wanted to hide inside the hole, and they wanted to, the children wanted to trouble him. And then when Radharani saw that, immediately he asked his Sakhis, go and take care of that fox, right? And many acharyas says also, right, when we chant and when we are not so attentive, and we all know that, 16 rounds, how much time we can be fully attentive, right? There are lapses in between. That's why in the Mahamantra, there is this first word comes Hara, Hare, O Radharani. O Radharani, please help us to serve Krishna. So when we take Radharani's name, Radharani's mercy flow in automatically. And that Krishna cannot deny. Krishna says, well, this devotee, I know how he's chanting my name. But when Radharani says, well, at least he's chanting your name, Krishna cannot say no. So when we chant, our first prayer should be, O Radharani, please help us in chanting Krishna's name nicely. And if we get her mercy, like we are saying, the very first thing that, in the whole day, if our chanting goes well, better if we can complete the chanting in the morning time before we start the day's work, our whole day goes so smoothly, so happily. The distress of the whole day goes away if our chanting was good in the morning, especially if we have completed all our 16 rounds. And more to, as Rupa Raghunath Prabhu says, if we could read some Prabhupada's purport on that, which is again another expression of love to Krishna. So what Prabhupada did at the age of 70, can we imagine? That's just because of his love to Krishna. And of course, his spiritual masters order or ask, but spiritual master asks on behalf of Krishna. We all know spiritual master is a representative of the Supreme Lord, giving his, his message, conveying to us. So if we can do all these things in the morning, that indicates that whatever where our activities are, that is aligned to our ultimate goal, which is go back to Godhead, go back to Golaka Vrindavan, and serve there to Krishna and his devotees. And Radharani is the epitome of that Prema Bhakti. As we can see here, Krishna has three different energies, right? His own internal potency, his external potency, which is the material energy, and then his tatastha, which is the marginal energy, which is the jivas. And the internal potency has, as we all know, Krishna is Sat Chit Ananda. And Radharani is the personification of all these internal energies in terms of Sat, Chit, and Ananda. Specifically, the Ladini Sakti, the transcendental pleasure of Krishna. Krishna takes pleasure through his energies, right? As we all know, Krishna takes his pleasure through his devotees. And Radharani is most dear to him because Radharani possesses all those qualities. Right? We all know the pastime of Radharani. She didn't even open her eye till the time she see Krishna. And Vrishabhanu Devi and they thought probably the child is blind. But the moment Radharani see Krishna Krishna was in front of him, in front of her. She opened her eyes. Who can be more dedicated to Krishna? Right? So, as Ramananda Rai was expressing his narration or narrating in front of Ramananda Rai, in front of Mahaprabhu, he says Radharani's love, that's the topmost. And that should be the ultimate goal of life. Now, question comes, how do we achieve this goal? Because we cannot be at that level of Radharani. She is Radharani, right? But what the Acharya says, we can follow the footsteps of the gopis, the mood of the gopis. Like the gopis, they can do anything and everything for Krishna. For them, nothing else matters. Their own sense gratification, their own sense enjoyment has no place at all. They act based on Krishna's desire. And for that, Krishna doesn't have to say anything. They could understand what Krishna wants. Right? Like in our work, normally my manager used to say that, if you understand your manager well, so first class of employees, that if you are hearing your manager well, and whatever your manager says, you do that immediately, right? So manager get happy, and then whatever you want, you will give. And then another category of employees that before even the manager says, they understand what manager wants and deliver it. And those are the pet people, right? And well, that's in a material platform, but we can draw a parallel here that Krishna, whatever he desires, the gopis understand that even before Krishna says it or convey it. So that's the mood of the gopis. So if we can follow a little bit in that footstep day by day, that will take us towards the ultimate goal. And Prabhupada, and this is not that easy, right? We are in this material world under the grasp of Maya, who is controlling the three modes, and through that is controlling us. And we have this big five senses, who most of the time are not in our control. Then following the footsteps of gopis, doing everything selflessly without desiring anything for us. It's a big thing. How it will be possible, especially in this age of Kali? That's why Krishna is so merciful, Radharani is so merciful, that they send or they come here in this Kali Yuga as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and distributing this love of devotion, love of God in every nook and corner of the world, every village of the world. And their representative, his representative, right? Be it Bhaktivinoda Thakur, be it Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada, they followed in their footsteps. And understanding us, jivas in this Kali Yuga, they made the process so simple for us. Right? We all know that story, that when Prabhupada told his disciples that you should chant 64 rounds, and how Prabhupada then reduced it and agreed with 16. Right? So they're so merciful. They understand how much we can do. And then Prabhupada says, if you do this minimum, do this attentive chanting every day, 16 rounds on Tulsi bead. Follow 4 regulative principles. Do Vaishnava association, Vaishnava seva, stay with devotees, so that Maya cannot attack you. Study Shastra. And again, Shastra, we know there are so many Shastras, so it is very specific that we should read Prabhupada's book. be it Srimad Bhagavatam, be it Bhagavad Gita, be it Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prabhupada has written so many books. He translated so many books for us, so many variation, right? We always want something new. Reading same thing every day, it gets monotonous for us because we are in this material world under the grasp of Maya. So that's why Prabhupada has prepared so many scriptures, translated so many shastras for us, so that we can read them. And Maharaj, Radha Swami Maharaj used to say, Prabhupada has written those books not for him, he's written it for us. And through the books, he has put his whole divine devotion to Krishna. So when we read that, we are not just reading Shastra, we are going through that ecstatic love of Prabhupada to Krishna, to his Guru Maharaj. So reading Prabhupada's book every day is so important. It's not just few words or few sentences, it's the love of Prabhupada towards his spiritual master and towards Krishna. Right? So that's how we can at least inch towards this ultimate goal of life. And if we stay together, and again, I would thank His Grace Bhayari Prabhu and Indulekha Mataji to give us this platform so that at least once in a week we are coming together, discussing and sharing our experience, so that someone is lagging somewhere or finding some difficulty in our devotional life, we can learn from each other. We can take inspiration from each other to move forward together towards this ultimate goal of life, inch by inch. Now, there is a very important role of Guru and Sadhu Sangha, which I just described, and Ramananda Rai also mentioned that to Mahaprabhu, that the role of a Guru is very, very important, who just not guide us, mentor us, but give their mercy. Without Guru mercy, we cannot move forward. We are learning everything from the Guru, and along with the learning, they give their mercy so that we can move forward. Right? And again, Prabhupada has given us variation there, that each Maharaj has their own way of kind of teaching Krishna Prema or Krishna Bhakti to us. Right? So based on our own nature, probably we'll get aligned to a specific way of teaching, right? Because again, if we look at this devotional life, it's vast. We heard about 9 ways of devotional service, then there's 5 levels and so many variations. And everyone's nature, based on the 3 modes of material nature, right? We are inclined towards certain kind of nature, right? And if we can utilize our skill, our nature in the right way in the service of Krishna, that's the best that we can do. So I'll kind of summarize what Ramananda Rai has narrated to Mahaprabhu. He started with Varnashrama Dharma, then he come to Karma Arpana, right? Karmanyabadhikarastu ma phaleshu kadachana, and then yat karoshi yat dasnasi. Then he moved to surrender, sarvadharma parityajya. Then he moved to devotion with knowledge, brahma bhuta prasannatma. Then to pure bhakti in the mode of those 5 levels of dasya, saksha, shanta, dasya, saksha, then Vatsalyan, Madhurya. Then Raganugaleva, which is pure prema. And then finally, the love of gopis and gopas towards Krishna. And amongst them, the topmost gopi, Srimati Radharani's Mahabhava. And her prema, her reciprocation to Krishna's internal potency. A little bit parallel between Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. And this particular chapter, if you see the narration, the samvada between Ramananda Rai and Mahaprabhu, is a combination of slokas, different slokas from Bhagavad Gita, and many slokas from Srimad Bhagavatam also. And as he progressed towards the pure devotional service at the level of gopis, you can see he quoted more and more about Srimad Bhagavatam. So you can see Gita close with surrender, which is the starting point for bhakti, for prema bhakti, prema bhakti. So I'll summarize again few takeaways before I finish. So ultimate goal of life is not ritual, not knowledge, not mixed devotion. It's the pure love of God, which is prema bhakti. And it is very clearly and through multiple verses, Ramananda Rai has clarified that a bhakti with some rituals is not the ultimate goal of life. And we see that many times people focus more on the rituals. This is the way you should do your puja in the morning. This is the way you should recite the slokas. This is the way you should do the offering. These are important, that brings us close to Krishna, no doubt about it, because that's the way we are directly serving Krishna, obviously through Guru Parampara and with the permission from our spiritual masters. But Prabhupada many times quoted also, those are important, but not the super most important. More important is our sadhana, japa, reading books, devotee association, devotees serving the devotees, right? Because Krishna accepts the offerings through his devotees only. That's why we take prasadam, right? In a material platform, in a spiritual platform, definitely Krishna accepts the prasadam that become Mahaprasadam. When in a material level, we consume that Mahaprasad, that's how we get the mercy of Krishna, right? So serving the devotees is one of the very, very important steps in our progress in the devotional life. And the last point is Mahaprabhu and Ramananda show that every soul is meant for this highest joy. Because again, Ramananda Rai himself was not a Brahmin. He was considered as a Sudra because he took birth in a Sudra family. And Mahaprabhu not just embraced him, he showed him the form of Radha Krishna together. Towards the end of the chapter, this is Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 8. There are 300 plus verses, and towards the end, Mahaprabhu shown his form of Radha and Krishna together to Ramananda Rai. So that's the position of Ramananda Rai. Is so glorious. As I said, he's none other than Visakha Sakhi playing a role here. And till the end, the last pastime of Mahaprabhu, Ramananda Rai was with him every day, telling him Krishna Katha. And after this pastime, Ramananda Rai left his governor position, took the permission from King Prataparudra, leave his material positions, and served Mahaprabhu till his last time. And he is the person who introduced King Prataprudra to Mahaprabhu only. Right? So King Prataprudra, whatever mercy he could get from Mahaprabhu was just because of Ramananda Rai. So he's such a glorious person, such a Mahabhagavat, and I feel fortunate to talk a little bit about him. And if I've done any mistake, Prabhuji is here. Please feel free to correct me, Prabhu. And anyone has any comments, any more discussions, I'll open the forum for further discussions. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Sachijivan Prabhuji. Such a nice class, Prabhu. A very nice journey that you took us through.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed all the parallelism that you were talking about from Bhagavad Gita. It was also reminding me of NOI, the 12 texts, and exactly going on that plane. So thoroughly enjoyed your class. Looks like you prepared a lot and you were absorbed into it while you were speaking. So I liked your presentation a lot. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you for your kind words. And I know I did mistakes somewhere. Some definitely have. To be honest, I didn't get full time to prepare, so whatever I had. And the best part was we have gone through Chaitanya Charitamrita before, right? Together. So yeah, it was very helpful because we have gone through it verse by verse. So thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your kind words. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I want to echo Rajneesh Prabhu's words. It was very absorbing to hear, and you were into it totally. So thank you very much, Prabhu, for the nice class.
Thank you, Master. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sajivan Prabhu. Thank you so much. It was really nice class. I really enjoyed listening to this, and really you kept us immensely kind of very much absorbed into the whole thing. So thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sachijivan Prabhuji. I really liked the class. I wanted to ask Prabhu, in your slides, you had one picture of, I think, Ramananda Rai and Mahaprabhu, and in between, I think it's there on multiple slides. In between, it's Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. Is it some temple, or do you know anything about that, Prabhuji?
So that is the temple in Kovuru where Ramananda Rai met with Mahaprabhu. Let me see. This one? No, not this one.
No, I think there is one more, Prabhuji. Yeah, this
This
one,
one.
Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this one is in his birthplace. This temple is in his birthplace near to Alalnath.
And the two personalities are Ramananda Rai and
This is
Mahaprabhu.
Ramananda Rai and this is Mahaprabhu. And this is his deities. And the recognition is from this. This is very specific to Odisha. It's a place called Pipili where these kind of things are prepared. So that indicates it's from his village. What is that name? I forgot that. Bhatta something. Bhattapura.
Okay. Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for such a wonderful class. It was a very beautiful class. Prabhu, I just have one question. So, in our professional lives, we normally have goals, right? We have some short-term goals. Normally, it's a very hit interview question. Where do you see yourself 5 years down the line, and then maybe whatever, 10 years down the line or whatever. So, what I understand is you also said that goals would change, right? Because what you would your goal right now would be different than what you would be in probably another 10 years. So I was trying to get an understanding as to what do you suggest in terms of, I guess, goals as to how many, what is the realist, is there like a magic number or a magic formula to have a certain short-term goal for spiritual growth, maybe one, and then have a long-term goal? Can you speak something on that lines, Prabhu?
Thank you, Mataji, for this wonderful question. It's very relevant, especially all of us, with families and all so many responsibilities. What we gone through to the chapter, utmost pinnacle of the bhakti is shown by Radharani. And Radharani every moment was thinking about Krishna. Now reaching that level will take time. So what Prabhupada has given us, we have to start from there. The bare minimum, 16 rounds, and at least half an hour to 1 hour reading, as much as possible. And Sadhu Sangha, anyway, we are doing it with guidance of Prabhuji and Mataji. So these three things we cannot leave. It has to continue. And then above that, based on time, place, and circumstances. Like right now, we have more responsibility. Children are small. We have to give time to them. So if we can do this much regularly without fail, that's more than enough now. But when children grow up, we don't have that responsibility as much as we have today. We get more time. So that extra time we should engage here. So if we look at our senior devotees, they spend so much time in their devotional life. Look at Prabhuji, how much time he dedicated to read the Shastras, and he's helping us to move into that direction. So a short answer is minimum, whatever Prabhupada has given, whatever our Guru Maharaj has given us to do, we have to do that minimum. And if we get more time based on the situations, for example, Saturday, Sunday, we have more time, probably. We can do a little more. Instead of reading for half an hour or 15 minutes, we can go and read for 1 hour. Like Prabhuji and Mataji come to you, we can do together. Right? So when we do individually, the effect of that versus when we do together, the effect is multiplied. I remember when I was in UK, there were 7-8 people nearby we were staying. Every Saturday, every Sunday, we used to do 16 rounds together. And then once in a quarter, we'll do 64 rounds. So when that 64 round happens together in a quarter, 16 rounds goes immediately like this. Right? So imagine when we were doing 1 round, 2 rounds, looking at 16 rounds was difficult, means hard job. Similarly, if we continue 16 and in between, sometimes we do 32, 64, as much as possible. I'm not saying we should do that immediately. Then in the later part of life, increasing from 16 to 20, 20 to 25, because that is the ultimate. Our ISKCON is nothing but taking Krishna's name. Everything else is supporting, facilitating so that we can chant. Prasadam there so that we can chant. Deities are there so that we can chant. Deities are there, see, everything is like that. Everything culminates back to chanting, how good we are chanting. Not sure, Mother, if I could respond in the right way, but that's my understanding.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. This was very helpful. Kishori, you have a question?
I have a question. I can go after Bhayari, Prabhu.
No, Mataji, please go ahead. I'll.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Sachijivan Prabhu, for all the preparation and the hard work. And I really appreciated your insights into the matter. So, Prabhu, my question was, when you spoke about Karma Mishra Bhakti, about Varnashram Dharma, and Mahaprabhu rejected it as external, But when Srila Prabhupada, before he left the planet, he was asked if there was one thing that was left for him to do. He said that I would have liked to establish Varnashram Dharma. So how do we reconcile this? What is the position of Varnashram Dharma in our society?
Very wonderful question, Mother. I'm glad you asked this question. Let me think for a second. So, if we look at this narration, even if we look at Bhagavad Gita also, what Prabhupada, Krishna tells to Arjuna, step by step. If someone has to start, we cannot start at that level of bhakti, prema bhakti or pure devotional life. No one can start that life, start directly there. We have to start from somewhere. So that's each Varnashrama. And especially Prabhupada wanted to preach it in the Western world because he knows India, by default, people know Varnashrama, they know. Western people even don't know what is Varnashrama. For them, caste means this is the filthiest thing. Whereas if someone goes deeper, understand the meaning of Varnashrama, that is the highest position in the society. To run material world, to run this world, it's everyone follows Varnashrama. Think about how beautiful this world will be to live. Right? So that's the beginning. So that's why Prabhupada wanted to focus more on Varnashrama so that people at least like whole indisciplinary area, you have to start somewhere. Now, very first step is make people disciplined. So as per my understanding of that Varnashrama is the big discipline to start our bhakti. Right? Because Varnashrama has certain boundaries. If you are a Brahmana and you are a Grihastha, your boundary is this. You operate between that and you cannot go outside. So that limits our sense gratification. We can imagine, right? All the sense gratifications things, that case within that. If someone is a Brahmana, you are not supposed to eat this. You are not supposed to do this. These are the boundary. Right? So that's why Prabhupada wanted to establish that so that people first get disciplined, and once they get disciplined, it will be easier to move forward. That's my understanding of it. Not sure if it...
Yeah, that's helpful, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you to have that framework within which one can then go deeper. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Sachijivan Prabhu. Thank you so much for a really absorbing class. I enjoyed it immensely. Prabhu, my question kind of, I guess, resonates to a great extent to the two questions that were asked prior. That Mahaprabhu took Ramananda Roy through these different stages, and Mahaprabhu also rejected the intermediate stages. As practicing devotees, how do we understand that? That do we also reject the intermediate stages, or I mean, what's the lesson that we need to imbibe in our daily devotional lives based on this, like staged conversation of Ramananda Roy presenting something, Mahaprabhu rejecting it, presenting something else, and then it culminates at a stage that we know we cannot be at. So some thoughts from your end, Prabhu, would be helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu, for this wonderful question. So I think as per my understanding, Prabhu, again, if you can, you can add to it. So Mahaprabhu started the question, what is the ultimate goal? So he's kind of trying to set a bar that your ultimate goal is here, you need to reach there. And then Ramananda Roy started from the beginning so that he can show the path to everyone. Hey, whatever situation you are in, this is your ultimate goal. This should be your ultimate goal. So that means bhakti is a journey, which is not a destination. And even Radharani, for Radharani also, what he narrated, Radharani is continuing that service. It's not that she reached that destination already. So my understanding, Prabhu, is the lesson for us is that at different stages, first thing is bhakti or devotional life is not static. There is always something more, something more, something more that we can do to reach the ultimate goal. So otherwise, if we're just chanting, maybe whatever 16 rounds, reading this and that, and we think we are doing good, probably what Ramananda Swami's teaching says, no, that's not good enough. We have to do more. Now we reach that level. No, that's not enough. Go more. So that's probably is the lesson, that there is always scope to improve in the sadhana, and then ultimate goal is Golok Vrindavan, where it's kind of the service that Radharani and all the devotees are doing for Krishna. To reach that level, there is a long way to go. That's my understanding, Prabhu. And to make it a little easier, Prabhupada made it a little easy for us to where to start, but it's always a journey. That's my understanding, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for the beautiful class. I feel guilty myself missing the first part of the class, so my apologies.
Krishna.
Yeah, and the class is so beautiful, Prabhu, and every point that you said is, motivating, enlivening. Uh, but at the same time, like currently, I'm just being open about my sadhana and this thing. I feel I'm not doing good enough. Although you mentioned the basics, like chanting, reading scriptures, there itself it looks like a struggled journey, chanting, doing, but kind of somehow doing. You understand, right? Like I know what to do, like somehow get up in the morning and do it there, So with all the, knowing theory is one thing. When the lack of purity aspect and all is there, the struggle is real. Uh, so, and as the discussion with devotees, you yourself already suggested the solution that you previously implemented. So, I was just thinking maybe, like that all the devotees gather together weekly once and chant and, you know, like because these, things, these goals, when I self made and even write it in a page or something, even that page itself will be gone in due course and I will be having my own struggle. So I'm just thinking maybe shall we have a group or something because without a devotees association and shelter and guidance from devotees like you, journey is hard. Because if you are struggling in that lower rungs, when will we experience the higher taste and all? So maybe shall we have like do you advise that we can few devotees gather over the weekend or whichever is the plan, like something that can when I associate personally one-on-one with devotees, it it's all my selfishness, of course, uh, that to move forward in devotion. Is there anything we can plan that uh, to chant together, because somehow chanting cry it looks like cryingly somehow finishing it, but not that's not I know the difference. It's not that I never chanted in the morning, so uh, so with devotee association it helps. So I'm just thinking, because otherwise what is happening is many times I get some question, but it is more on the practical side of how I implement. Theoretically I know many times the answer, but am I implementing? Without devotee association, I don't see myself good enough. So just if, acceptance of where I am situated and seeking help.
Dandapranam, Prabhu. Very practical point, Prabhu. We are all struggling in our own different ways. See, Prabhu, we were doing that, morning chanting once in a month. Probably we can start. Maybe the weather is not that good now, but once weather gets a little better,
Correct.
I think we can do that, and we should start it. We were trying to do something in Poolsville area because we are now 5-6 devotees all together nearby, within 1-2 miles, within 1.5 miles actually. So we thought 2 months before that we'll start. We have done only once till now, because every devotee has some service. So Saturday we talk about I have my service. Sunday Navin Krishna Prabhu has his service. So those difficulties probably will keep on coming. But I agree with you, Prabhu. We should restart that. Even if 2 devotees come together, we should do it. And seeing that others will get inspired, and slowly, probably, we may move forward from there. So I would suggest let's start, Prabhu. And yeah, even 2 people, let's start. If not temple, we can do somewhere in the middle, somewhere, someone's house, right? Which is in the middle. Like Rupananda Prabhu now in Urbana. You are on the other side of it. I am other side. Prabhuji is the other side. So we can think something in the middle somewhere. Possible. But I agree with you, Prabhu. We should start it again. Doing it alone is very difficult. I mean, it will happen somehow, like the way you are saying. Yeah, somehow 16 rounds, somehow we are reading.
Yeah.
But think this way, positively, if we think this way, because of this, at least I could go and read Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 2, chapter 8, and then Chaitanya's teaching, and Srimad Bhagavatam, few things, then Bhagavad Gita, few things. I had to do it because I had to prepare. So Prabhuji and Mataji giving us such a beautiful, nice platform. We have to just utilize it.
That's so true, Prabhu. So
Right?
true.
In whatever way we can do, because ultimately in material world we have 24 hours only. Within 24 hours we have to do everything, do our job, take care of family, this and that. Everything we have to do within that 24 hours. But then prioritization. Now, because I have to speak something about it today, in spite of yesterday 9 o'clock till 9 o'clock I was working, I had to prepare, right? So that's a good thing because of this platform. So, but I agree, Prabhu. Let's start that once this weather improves a little bit.
Yes, Prabhu.
It's
After the
too
weather.
risky now in the night driving like on this kind of road is very risky. So
Yeah.
once it improves a little bit, maybe start March kind of thing, we can start it.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, with
We
other
can take
everybody can.
we can take suggestion from others, but I am for it, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I totally agree, Prabhu, that our Prabhuji and Mataji, they gave a wonderful platform for us, like we studied deeper. Yeah. And we'll, yeah, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Sajijan Prabhu, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. It's a very nicely done lecture, and I really enjoyed. I always like this pastime between Ramananda Rai and Mahaprabhu's dialogues. They are really taking you from like on first stage to last stage, like ultimate goal. And I know already my questions you already answered because somebody else, 2 people already asked those same questions. How you go where you are up to the light. It looks like very impossible to reach to the Prema Bhakti stage. But I thank you so much for taking time to prepare and all. I really enjoyed. Thank you, Prabhu.
One thing I will add, Prabhu, because the goal is there, even the topmost devotee, they all say, I am akinchana, I am nowhere, I am still beginning, because the goal is there. If we compare to that, we are nowhere, which is a good thing because it's a journey, as I said before, it's a journey. We cannot make that this is the goal. Once we reach there, everything is done.
Yeah,
That's
thank you,
my
Prabhu.
point,
Yeah,
Prabhu.
because it looks impossible at this point, even to go there.
When I've gone through this chapter for the first time, when we were doing Chaitanya Charitamrita, every step I said, this is the end, this is the end. And then something new, something new, something new. This is a good thing.
Thank you, Prabhu.
I remember usually Prabhuji says on such topics that journey is as good as goal. So I think,
Very nice quote. Yes, journey is the goal. Yeah.
yeah.
Because in Golok Vrindavan, whenever we reach, I'm sure sometimes, some life, right? So if we continue doing this, Prabhupada has given the assurance, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given the assurance, if we continue doing it, at one life we'll reach there. And what we are going to do? Exactly the same thing that we are doing. So the better we do it here, we are actually practicing it. What needs to be done there, we are practicing here. It's a training center. We are getting training. And if we do good in the training, then slowly we'll see the progress. And then Krishna is seeing everything. When he sees us qualified, he will take us there. And Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj are always there to guide us. Yeah, Prabhu. What the next Prabhu?
Yeah, I was just thinking the devotees whose house is in the middle of Frederick and Rockville and Port Colesville, who should be the target for our Saturday chanting. And Laddu Gopal Prabhu is coming into my mind. Adi Govind Prabhu is coming into my mind. I know.
We can keep changing, Prabhu.
It's a good idea. It's a very good idea.
We are not very far.
Yeah.
Yeah, even I'm not that far, Prabhu.
Yeah.
15-20 minutes maximum, half an hour. That should be good enough. I mean, not very.
Actually, the best place is temple. Mangalarti, doing, by 9 o'clock, it will be 64 round around.
Don't set a target which difficult.
Maybe, yeah, but temple.
Mangalarti nowadays. But yeah, I mean, yes.
Yeah, we used to do it before, right? The rounds, I think. We used to do once in a month. I remember that. We stopped it.
Yeah.
We can do that actually. Thanks, Amrita. I mean,
we should do some plan, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu, let's the weather improves a little bit because it's too much snow now. I mean,
of course,
I was
Prabhu.
driving here, the road, one side, half of it closed. So driving in the night.
Next 15 days, I
now.
don't. Nobody can do.
Yeah, it's not very safe. So at least daytime it will improve so that Mangalarti time is anyway. Mangalarti time always would be little dark, but it should not be full dark. And then snow should go away, and then from the road. Yeah, let's start from.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
Time for Narsingh Dev Aarti, or any more comments from anyone?
Next week, I think. Adi Govind Prabhu?
Yeah, I think it's Adi Govind Prabhu's turn next week. Right, Adi Govind Prabhu? You are speaking next Saturday?
No, Prabhuji. I think it's Karunavatar Prabhu. Yes, or at Ratnesh Prabhu's home, but that has been cancelled. So it'll be Zoom mostly.
Oh, okay. It will be Karunavatar Prabhu next. Okay.
Thank you, Sachijivan Prabhu. Beautiful class.
Yes. I also echo. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Sorry, Prabhu, if I did any mistake, please let me know.
Yeah.
It was all nectarian, Prabhu.
All nectarian, Prabhu. It's all motivating to so deep research and great presentation.
It's a vast topic. I saw Ramana Swami Maharaj lecture 3.5 hours. I said, well, that's not possible.
Oh, that's quite long. Yeah, and subject matter itself is so vast. Yeah. Even 3.5 hours is not.
It's a big chapter, 330 something verses on that chapter. It's quite a long chapter.
Yes, Prabhu. especially the conversation between Mahaprabhu and Ramanand Roy is widely discussed topic. So many acharyas gave lectures on it. So
Prabhu, towards the end, after verse 202 onwards, Ramanand Roy bring chapter 10, I mean canto 10, chapter 33 of
Sure.
Srimad Bhagavatam. Full narration of rasa dance and all those things are there. So 202 to I think 250 or 60, 50, 60 verses on that only. So he went very, very deep.
Sure.
So obviously we had limited time.
Yeah.
And then, I didn't feel myself qualified to go through those verses, so I didn't present that. So
The topic itself is that, Prabhu. Like I
Very
have
good.
one early
Very
memory with respect to, there was one in our Kirtans book, there was one Kirtan like Vidyara Vilase, that was, education without Krishna consciousness is not only useless but also harmful. So with that message, I think it is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Kirtan, I think. That was one of my early introduction with respect to this topic and the conversation. Yeah, so I have that special positive feeling for the topic. Thank you for bringing it up. Yeah, presenting.
Does Aditi want to sing Darshing Dev prayer?
She's thinking.
Okay. Any other volunteer for Darshing Dev prayers?
We'll sing together.
Yeah, Sachi will also sing. Mamun will sing. Sachi, Partha Bhaiya, Karunya Bhaiya, everyone will sing.
Everyone is there. Yes.
We're trying to get them.
Hey, Guruji is also there.
Haribol, Mamun.
Yeah.
Very good job in sending your shloka.
Mamun, meanwhile, can you say the translation and shloka both?
I know. No, I don't want to say
It's
now.
okay. She doesn't need to, Mataji.
Okay.
She will say, she probably.
Entertain करेगी.
I thought I wanted to later.
Yes, she can probably do it tomorrow when we have our Zoom call with friends.
बाबू जी आज मुझे 5-10 बार सुनाई अभी मतलब मैं जब बिजी होती तभी सुनाती है मैं मुझे थोड़ा सुना दे कोई बात
It's okay, Mataji, no worries. Let's not embarrass. But very nice.
Thank you.